All right, you guys, we are here for week 3. Week 3. You are like more than halfway done. This is so exciting, okay? But we're here for week 3 of Leap to Lead, and tonight we're doing all things sponsoring. All things sponsoring, okay? So I want you to get your pens ready, get your questions ready as we go over these things. You are going to be hearing from Paige. You're going to be hearing from Ashley, Whitney, Narina, and myself, okay? And we're going to talk about a lot of different things when it comes to sponsoring. But like I said already, just know that there's like no magical trick to sponsoring, okay? You got to get ready to get uncomfortable, and you have to ask. You have to open your mouth, okay? All right, so where are you at, Paige? There you are. Okay, Paige, how do you go ahead and get started?
Hey everybody, so I'm gonna hit it off with sponsoring, and I want to be transparent. My initial instinct was not to sponsor. My initial was, I'm here for a discount, I can make it happen with PRV, I can get the check I want with PRV. And shortly and quickly I learned that I can do so much more if I decided to grow. You can definitely make goals happen with PRV, but not those big goals, the ones that people think are unattainable. You're going to need to grow. And it's fun. It's fun to grow, and it's fun to figure out sponsoring and try out that journey. But you have to realize when you do sponsor, you're opening up a door. And that door is leadership, and it's a responsibility. It's not all fun and games. It is fun, but it's not all fun and games. It's a major responsibility. People are relying on you because they have dreams and big wants and needs too. There aren't just hobbyists here. There are people that want to stay home with their kids. There are people that are in toxic work environments. And when they decide to sponsor under you, they're counting on you, and they're counting on you to guide them and to help them grow. So whenever I realize that potential, not just for myself, but what I can help other people do, those stay-at-home moms or that extra income, I knew that it was going to be a big on-taking, because it's not just about me anymore. It's about everyone else underneath me or with me. It's a big deal. It's a real big deal. And you're never really going to be ready to sponsor. I still wonder if I'm doing enough, or did I check this box? Did I make sure I gave them this information? But that's what your team is there for. That's what your team page is there for. That's what your director's page is there for, because it's a whole fluid of information that is there to help every single person, just in case you missed one little step. We're here to work together, and that's how sponsoring, to me, seems much more simple, is because we're here to rely on each other to help each other with those little things you don't feel like you missed or that you're not quite ready for. When you sponsor, it is your job. It is now your job. This is a job. Somebody is relying on you. This is your duty to make sure that people are getting all the information they need, whether it's from you or your team page or teammates that are pouring into the page. It's your duty. It's expected. It's not to be taken lightly at all. It's a big deal, and I hope everyone here realizes that. When you decide to lead, it's okay. When you decide to lead, someone is counting on you. And I can't say it differently enough. I can't say it enough in general. I just can't. You're just being relied on to make things happen. And you don't want to handhold, of course, but you need to make sure all the tools are there. And I've learned so much from my team. I've learned from my leaders. I've learned how I want to be a leader, how I don't want to be a leader, what works for me. And you're going to change as you grow. As you grow, as you become, as your team grows, your interpretation of leadership is going to change. What you want to do is going to change. And as you grow, your business is going to evolve in many different ways. whether it's the pay scale or leadership or how you handle things, how you put feelings in your pocket or don't put feelings in your pocket. But it all boils down to how you're going to be sponsoring. Because anybody, they can join under anybody. They can click on the Scentsy website and say, I want to be a consultant. They can pick anybody. So why are they going to pick you? What makes them want to join you? What are you bringing to the table for them? What's different for them? I know we had someone join on our team not too long ago. She's a reinstatement. And I asked her, well, what's different this time? What changes your opinion this time? What makes you want to grow more this time? What makes you thrive this time? And it's all in the leadership and how you're leading your people. It's just a big deal, guys. It's a huge deal that you take seriously. And that's all I got.
Love that. I think that is amazing. We have a bomb team. We have an amazing team. So I think you're on one of the best, in my opinion. And like Whitney said, you'll never be alone in your leadership, you guys. And just so y'all know, we do have a leadership group too. I know some people might know, some people might not, but we have a leadership group where we come together, all of us leaders from our whole group wide, and we ask questions there. We all are doing trainings there, okay? It's not just where you're relying on certain people to do trainings. We're all doing trainings. We're coming together, okay, to learn, to teach, to help each other, and to give each other ideas. So you are truly, truly never alone. Never alone. Okay, I think next is Ashley. She's going to talk about relationship business. That's so important. All the relationships. So that will be good. Okay, Miss Ashley, you ready?
Ready.
All right.
All right. So my name is Ashley Crabtree, and I live in Bahama, North Carolina. And Whitney is my sponsor and superstar director. So she's my upline. But thank you to Anya and Paige for asking me to speak tonight. I appreciate the opportunity. And so I briefly just wanted to share with you guys a few things that have worked personally for me. I haven't quite been doing this a year yet, but I've had a little bit of success with sponsoring, and hopefully that will continue. But I struggle with anxiety. I know a lot of people do, especially right now. And so what I wanted to do is just kind of bring the scariness of sponsoring like into a box, like simplify it and not overthink it, which is the problem I have. So first things first, just remembering that Scentsy is a party business, like plain and simple. It's a party business. And whether that's in person or online or bag parties, events, like whatever that is for you, and it's going to be different for all of us, what we're successful in, you have to be partying. So if you're not partying, that's the first problem with sponsoring. So when you're partying, you're going to meet people. Like that's just how it goes. And you have to remember that, yes, the PRV and the making the money and all that is great. But your ultimate goal with these parties and events and things are to meet people. When you're meeting these people, you have to build relationships with them. Like it just goes hand in hand. So sponsoring is terrifying. I remember starting out, like having that conversation. I got in my own head. I talked myself out of opportunities and I made it about me. And it was just scary. So what I tried to bring it back down to, and what I wanted to share with you guys is, Scentsy has already laid out the foundation for the easy way to sponsor, or the easy way to approach sponsoring. And that is through our core values, Scentsy's core values. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's on Scentsy's webpage. It's in our catalogs. It's literally everywhere. And so I want to bring building relationships and sponsoring back to Scentsy's core values. So that first one is simplicity. And I'm not going to go over the definitions, but you guys can look them up. But I'm going to give you my abbreviation of how I think we can apply it. So simplicity, how we can apply it. Be honest. Like, keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate things that really don't have to be complicated. You have to be talking. You have to be asking people to sponsor. You have to be having conversations. You have to be partying. Like those are the basics. And sometimes I think we get all the other stuff tangled in. Party, talk, like do those basic things. Those conversations are going to happen. And then authenticity is one of the core values. Be truthful. Like do what you say you're going to do. Put action into your words. Like you're naturally going to build relationships with people when they can trust you. So when you're building relationships with customers, when you're building relationships with fellow consultants, your upline, whoever that is, do what you say you're going to do. And that's naturally going to help build a relationship. So when you're meeting new people, you're trying to expand your customer base, be authentic with them. Let them see why you're in the business. What is it that drew you to it? And then the last core value is generosity. So take care of your people, take care of your customers, treat them. I said this to my daughter. I'm like, treat them the way you want your mama treated. And she's like, what if you don't like your mama? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, so treat them the way you want to be treated. Treat them the way you want your family treated. People are going to naturally be drawn to you if you are a genuine and trustworthy person. It's just going to happen. And Paige mentioned it, and I wanted to hit on it. Like, we as consultants all have the exact same products to sell. So Whitney doesn't have a special line of products that we don't get access to. And Anya has the same like we literally have the same products, the same catalog, the same information at our fingertips. So what makes you stand out as a consultant? Like what makes someone want to join your team or want you as their consultant? And so I feel like those core values of simplicity, authenticity, like just that whole package, really in my brain kind of simplifies sponsoring. Stop overthinking it. Don't be terrified by it. Be yourself. Keep things simple and just have those conversations, because if you're not having them, it's an automatic no. So the relationship part, the important thing when you're building these relationships, you're going to get to know why a person could benefit from Cincy, should join Cincy, whatever that is. And you're not going to know that unless you build those relationships. We tend to jump to the paycheck aspect of it, like first thing, get paid on your purchases and financial freedom. And that is a huge thing. That's why I joined, getting paid off my own purchases. That's why I think a lot of people join, but I think that tends to be our like main outlet and our main way to share the opportunity of Cincy. And we have to forget or not forget, not everybody's looking for financial freedom or just the discount. Maybe a person's retired and they're just looking for a sense of community, or someone wants personal growth and just wants to do something that challenges them. Maybe they just like the products, period, and they're not looking to sell or whatever it is, but get to know why that person could benefit from the opportunity. And don't sell them or try to sell them something they don't need. And really remember, it's not about you. Like when you're presenting the opportunity, it's literally, it could change their lives. And remember, you're sharing the opportunity for them. And I think when you really think about it from that aspect and not make it just a numbers thing, which is really easy to do starting out, like you're looking at promotions and PRV and all that stuff. And it's hard sometimes to lose the PRV. I have messaged Whitney a couple times, like, do I flip the party? Do I not flip the party? It's tough. It is tough. But when you really flip the script and you make it about that person, it's a lot easier to accept the no's because it's not about you. You're not going to take it personal. They're just saying no to the opportunity, and that may not be forever. So basically, build those relationships and don't overcomplicate things. Like, get out of your own head, build relationships so you know how to approach somebody with a joint opportunity. And if they say no, they say no. But you will not find out unless you're asking and unless you're partying. And I'm preaching to myself too. Getting parties and having those conversations, I don't always want to do it. It's business. It's the business. And if you want to grow, you got to put action behind your words. So that's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that was so good. Thank you. Never have I ever, Whitney and I were just texting, like, never thinking about the core values and putting it with that. Like, what? So this is like, because you all are here and you're the 1% and you're going to be leaders, this is something to keep in mind when you get to the leadership page, why it's so incredibly important for you to share things, even if you're like, I have nothing to share. I feel like everything's been shared. What value do I have? Because I've never thought about that. Whitney's never thought about that before. And here Ashley comes just blowing it out the water. Okay. So like, you have to remember, it's not just getting uncomfortable with having conversations. It's this whole thing is about getting uncomfortable. Every aspect. Okay. Every aspect. So thank you so much for that, Ashley. That was so good. So good. Okay. Whitney is next.
So I think we're done. We can like finish it. I think Ashley like really covered it all. I'm sitting here telling Eric, like, this is why, like, I'm getting choked up listening to Ashley because of where she came from when she started. This is why I do this. And to see that she's blowing my mind right now, that she just gave that much information and opportunity to you guys and to me and to Anya and to Paige, to all of us. That's why we're better together. So I have a hair so put on my face. That was amazing, Ashley. I love to hear other people's point of view, and I'm going to take it a whole different direction. And this is the beauty of it, right? That we all just kind of take it at our different ways, but I'm going to be going over onboarding and setting people up for success. So, I'll start by saying, first things first, you can't control anybody. That's what Anya started this meeting out with. You're going to see probably success in people that don't see it in themselves. You're going to see value in people. You're going to see potential in people that may not live up to that potential. They may not put in the work that you want them to. They may not do the things you want them to do. That's part of leadership. Okay. And that's a hard part of leadership. But just know that, as I have always said, as a leader, as long as I can say that I gave them all the tools that I gave everyone else that has been successful, then I've done my part. Okay. I can give you what you need to be successful, but I can't make you do it. Okay. And that's what separates people. That's what puts people on different levels, is because of what they're willing to work for. So, as far as onboarding people, I'm going to be fully transparent. I feel really bad for my first couple of people that joined my team because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have leadership to tell me to help these people or what to do. Like, I don't know how they did what they did, probably because they're similar to me and they just did it. But I do want to say that that is something that I have focused on the last couple years. Okay, so you've probably been doing this maybe a few weeks, a few months, but it took me a while to get my systems how they are now. So you cannot compare what you have or what you're making to what I have. I will say that my upline SSD, Chloe Cox, she provided systems that I took and made my own. And now that's how I have my system. So that's the biggest thing that I can recommend, is to have a system for onboarding people. But if you don't have one with your first couple of people, that's okay. I'm going to tell you what the main things are to focus on. But I'm going to very briefly show you what my systems look like, and I will share these on the page. You are welcome to use them. New consultant launch. This is literally just a task, a link, and a checklist for you. So it kind of looks a little scary, but this is something that they go through on their first 70 days. Okay. This maps out everything they need to technically be successful as a new consultant. And I will post that on the page. Now, for them, they have that. That's their guide that I give them to be like, here's an extra added onto what's on the workstation for you. But I found that me as their leader, I was like, oh, I need to put her 70th day on my calendar. Oh, I need to confirm that she's scheduled her launch party. Oh, I need to make sure she's announced that she's even a consultant. Oh, I need to send her a welcome. Like I was just all over the place. So literally I just started making a list, and this is what I use for my people. So I put their name here. And as I do these things with them, I check it off. This is a brand new one. This is my used one. Okay. It's not that pretty, but it's at my desk. It's what works for me, and I've been successful with it. So there's two systems, one for the new consultant and one for me to keep on track on where they are and what they're doing. That also tells me how dedicated they are. If they're not doing the things that I'm asking them to do, then that's going to show in my paperwork. So when they come to me, 2 months later and they're like, this isn't working. And I can be like, oh, well, you're not working. This is what you haven't done yet. When you go back and do those, we'll talk about it. Okay. So those are my systems. But there are three main things to focus on when you have someone new come on. And you know what all of these are because you have been a new consultant, and we're keeping this as simple as we can. So even if they're a hobbyist, they need to do these three things, focus on these three things. Okay. The first thing is Shooting Star. That's 500 PRV in their first 15 days. How they do it is we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but that's their first goal as a consultant. Why? Because it comes with a huge advantage. It's your first award, and it's really going to set you up for success. So that's one of the first things I tell people. That's your first goal, even if they're a hobbyist. And I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. The next thing is certified consultant. That's a big jump. That could take them a while, but that's okay. If we're doing mini goals. So yeah, 1,000 PRV is a lot, but some people can do that in 2 weeks. Some people it takes 2 months. But it's still a goal to set for them. And then the next thing is Sensational Start. Now I do these one by one. I don't say you need to do all these things at once. But last thing is Sensational Start. That's 70 days. That's a very long time for them to learn how this business is run. Now, how you're going to get these. This may sound really stupid, but a lot of people don't do it. They need to announce that they're a consultant. That is the first thing that anyone needs to do before they do anything else. They have to announce it. They have to put it on social media, send an email, send some text, make some phone calls. They have to let their family and friends know that they are a consultant. If they just start posting random stuff on their social media, or people get invited to a random Facebook party, they're gonna be like, what is going on? And that's not authentic. That's not being transparent. Instead, you should urge them to say, hey, I'm a new consultant. You're going to be getting an invite soon, like having that communication. I find that people who don't announce that they're a consultant, they're probably not even half as successful as people who do say like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Okay. The second thing is their launch party. This is a non-negotiable for all my new people. I don't care if you're a hobbyist. I don't care if you're getting paid off your purchases. It must be some type of launch party, online, in person, or both. Yeah, Anya didn't show up to hers, so there's that. If we're being completely transparent. Well, she gave me the face, so I called you out. But they have to do that, okay? And then the last thing is the first things first checklist. That's on their workstation. That's prompted for them that's as soon as they get into their workstation, they're gonna be prompted to start that. So there's no getting around that. And we've shared that too, as far as like what that looks like. You may even have that still on your workstation, on your dashboard, but that's something that they have to do. Why? Because that's gonna get them most familiar with this business, how our systems work, how this can most benefit them. If they can do those three things, even if they're a hobbyist, they're going to be getting an awesome deal on the Shooting Star kit. That's an amazing deal. $200 for over $300 worth of product. So if you love Scentsy, that's an amazing deal. They have 90 days, I think, to get that from when they earn Shooting Star. So they have a while to get that. Huge deal for them. Second thing is their pay raise. That's a 5% pay raise with that second part, that certified. So they just want to get paid off their purchases. They're going to get more. They're going to get paid more off their purchases. Okay. And then that last thing, the first things first checklist, that, like I said, it's just going to really run them through our systems. They're going to know how to close parties. They're going to know how to open a party link. They're going to learn what the shipping charges are. Again, all of that is going to benefit them, even if they're a hobbyist. Okay. So I always encourage everyone to learn by doing. I know that not everyone learns the same way, but in my experience of doing this, especially with Scentsy, if you try to sit down at a computer, no matter what your brain looks like, and try and take all that information at once, there's no possible human way that you can take it in. I remember being like, what that is actually going on here, because I have no memory of what I'm reading. There's just so much to know. There's so much to learn. So people who are very focused on, I want to read all the things and do all the things first. That's fine. I'm going to give you like 2 days and we're starting your launch party. Okay. You're going to learn as you do this, because if you're learning how to put in a party, if you're learning how to put a new customer in the workstation, if you're learning how to set people up on your newsletter, all of those things I can tell you how to do, but until you actually do it, it's not probably going to register in your mind. Okay. Ashley hit on this. Party, party, party. If someone comes in and they're like, I want to be successful, I want to do big things, that's what I tell them. Your family and friends are only going to take you so far. Okay. Yes, it's an awesome, amazing thing to ask your friends and family to party with you, but you cannot drain your family and friends to try and run a business. That's not how we run a business. They can help you get started. Absolutely. My sister, who's now on my team, my best friends, they were all the people who hosted for me first. But my goal was to get into those next circles that I didn't know who they were. So then when I got to know my aunt, my best friend's aunt and her best friend and her neighbor, that's when your business is going to explode. And that's why we are a party planning company. So party, 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 even if it's your family and friends. Some ways to do that is just to say, hey, I'm doing something new. Do you mind if I try it out on you? Someone said that the other night. That's a great way to say, hey, I'm just doing something new. Will you help me get started? It is up to you then to not take the sales and run, and to build a business and have customer service and treat them like people, like we've been talking about, and not just taking the sale and running and not providing customer service, not providing a thank you. Cycle. Okay. The other thing is, I did want to say it's never too early to start sponsoring. Again, if you're like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'd love for you to join and do this with me and we can figure it out together. Why not do this with your best friend? Why not do this with your sister? Why not do this with whoever, right? Because you don't have to have all the answers. People ask me things weekly and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. I don't have all the answers. I don't have to have all the answers. Okay. That's why we have customer support. They have all the details. That's why we have a workstation that has all the details. It's not up to you or me as a leader to retain how tall a woman is. Okay. That's not what we're doing here. Okay. We're teaching people how to build businesses and make money. Point blank, period. Okay. Now, all of this to say that the best way to set anyone up in this business is the host exclusive kit. Okay. So with the host exclusive kit, first things first, any host that you have in a party, you need to be offering them this kit. It's $59, but it's only exclusive to that host. Okay. So once their party qualifies, you should be notifying that they have the option to now get paid off their party and to become a consultant, and they can put their free rewards towards the price of their kit and get it for $59 or less. Okay. I've said it before, just don't say free publicly. You can say that one-on-one when you're talking to someone. Hey, your kit can be free because you have a party over $500. Yes, you can say that. You can't say that publicly. And then lay it out for them. Tell them what they're going to get. If someone has a $500 party, they're going to be able to join for free. They're going to get $125 paycheck, right? 520%, $200 Don't make me math. I need a calculator. They're going to get a paycheck. And they still get rewards. Why would anybody say no to that? I can't wrap my brain around that yet, but maybe one day. But they're going to get a free business, get paid off their party, and have rewards. But if you're not laying that out for them, that they know that, they don't know what a host exclusive kit is. They're like, what? What's it? What is that? I mean, to me, it even kind of sounds confusing, to be honest with you. But lay it out for them and tell them what they can get. Every single host needs to know what the options are. Okay. Now there is, so every host gets offered that, and helping them achieve this before they join. So that's the other thing. If you have someone and they're super nervous about all of this and they're just very hesitant, you can say, let's do your launch party first. Okay. I'm going to help you with your launch party. We're going to do it together. You're going to act as the consultant. I'm going to help you with the posting of the party, but you're going to answer people's questions. I'm going to walk you through putting things into the workstation, and then I'm going to flip it to you. You can do people's launch party for them. If you don't know how to do that, that's okay too. Talk to your sponsor, talk to your director. You can do it where it's easy for them to sign up, and technically they can earn Shooting Star and become certified before they even officially join, because they're not official until that party closes. Now, there are certain things you have to do to be able to flip that PRV, and things have to match up, and there is a certain way to do that. But let's worry about that once we get there, the technical stuff, okay? But just know that if someone is super hesitant, you can help them do their launch party before they join, okay? All they need is a $200 party. The other thing with the host exclusive kit is, I don't know if this has been hit on, but having a catch-all party every single month is something that you should be doing. Has that been hit on? Yes? No? Okay. So if you're not sure what that is literally a link that is, for me, it's the month theme. So I think this month mine is called like Fresh Start. And that's the link that I put on my link tree. If someone messages me and they're like, hey, I want to order, that's the link I send them. And so then I can double up as a host and as a consultant and get rewards. Now with that party, I don't need any more free Scentsy. Okay. Most of us probably don't. I can then offer a discounted kit, AKA that host exclusive kit that's attached to that catch-all party. It just needs to be $200. I can give them that $20 free credit towards the price of the host exclusive kit and offer them the kit for $39 at minimum. Now, if my party, I don't ever close a party that's less than 500, that's a catch-all. So that's where free kits come in. I will recommend that you don't give free kits away. It's totally up to you, but I like for them to invest something. Okay. I've given away $20 kits. I've given away $30 kits, but I do suggest that they invest something so they're not running with a free kit, because there's product in there. There's warmer, there's wax, that's a free business. Okay. I have given it away completely free. I won't say her name, but she has now completely run with it and she's on here. So there's that too, because I love her so much and I know her personally. So you can put any party that is qualified, so $200 or more, and switch the host. Okay. And I've talked about that before. I keep thinking this is the leaders group, but it's not. It's about to be, right? But you can, so for that, then I just switch their information. I put their name and their email. The email is the most important thing. You'll put their kit in, it'll email it to them, they'll fill it out, you close the party, they're officially a consultant. Okay. So just know that there is the option to offer discounted kits. Just refer to them as discounted, or if you want to do free, you can say no out-of-pocket cost or little out-of-pocket cost. There is certain verbiage that you have to use with that. Okay. You cannot say free. Don't ever say free in Scentsy publicly. Just don't do it. Okay. So there's that option too. And if you're having a catch-all link, so even if you have a catch-all link for 90 days, because that's the max we can keep them open, you can still offer that kit at the end of the 90 days or at the closer to the 90 days. Okay. And I think Anya said she's going to share a training on that tomorrow. So that's going to go even more in depth with that. So to end all this, as far as onboarding and setting people up for success, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell my new teamies is just do it, and you're going to learn by doing it. Okay. You're going to learn as you go in leadership. You're not going to have it all figured out before you have your first teammate, and that's okay. Okay. If they're meant to be here, they will be here. Okay. You have to learn while doing, and just know that your leadership will evolve as well. Me as a leader now compared to me as a leader 4 years ago is a joke. And that's okay, because that's why I am here now. Just being completely honest. And that's all I got for you. By the way, this is my husband, Eric. I forgot to introduce y'all. He wasn't here last week. He was sick. So, but he has done recruiting. And so we talk a lot about that with just his recruitment in the Army, and then
how much
sponsoring.
they parallel each other.
Yeah.
And just where you can draw those bits and pieces from it, just to kind of it always goes back to the same thing, just build relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're online talking to somebody, or if you're in high school talking to some kid.
Yep.
It always comes back to building relationships.
And it also compares with recruitment as far as numbers. And that's why I will always ask you, if you're struggling with sponsoring, I'm gonna say, how many conversations have you had? Why? Same thing in recruitment. They had certain numbers they have to hit every month, because there's a percentage of people that are going to say yes.
200 phone calls a day.
Yeah. If he can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
So just do it, learn by doing it, and know that you can do it. And that's all I got.
Love it. That was so good, Whitney. Thank you. As usual, always so good. Always so good. Yes, y'all, you can just do it. Just do it, right? Is it Nike? Yeah, Nike. Just do it. Just do it. And you'll learn as you go. Like, none of us are perfect. I still don't know what I'm doing. Here I am. So just do it. You'll be okay. I promise. All right. Next up, we have Miss Narina. And she is going to talk to y'all for a little bit.
Hi, my name is Narina. I'm going to preface by saying I am super nervous. I had like a 3 o'clock call to Paige, and I was like, I'm a little bit nervous here. But I actually love that Whitney and Eric ended up on the parallels with what he does versus what she does, because I am a principal in residence. I run a public charter school from grades 6 through 12. I run a staff of close to 70 people and students from grades 6 through 12, right? And so leadership and the business of building relationships with people and with students is really, really near and dear to my heart. It's something that I read a lot of books on, watch a lot of videos on it, attend a lot of like seminars on just leadership, on how to be a good leader. It's one of my favorite conversations. But I will say that I joined, the person that got me to join at Nikki, she was my AP Human Geo teacher. And it was 1 year, and I was incredibly frustrated. And she was like, I've been making money with this, you can get out and all. And so I joined, but I joined for a discount, same as Paige. I was like, man, like I'm sitting here as Anya's talking, smelling the product, because I mean, we all are, right? But I will tell you that when Paige mentioned earlier that you can't just do this by yourself, like you can't do it with PRVs. I will tell you, December was semester exam months. I was at school every day till I think I was telling Anya and Paige, like I can't even get home before 9 or 10 o'clock. We're scanning tests, we're grading tests. January hit, I got COVID really badly for 2 weeks. And let me tell you, my team carried me, right? If I didn't have the team that I have, then I wouldn't have been still where I was. And like Whitney, I gave a free kit, and she's sitting here, and she's incredible. And she's actually going to be one of the people that I will talk about today. So just a little bit of introduction on who I am is just leadership is really, and building relationships is really big. And so it's really important in this business to pick like the right people, because I think we've all to some extent invested in people that perhaps didn't invest back into us or didn't invest back into the business. So what is it that we need to look for when we're investing in people, right? I mean, dare I say we should all have an addictive personality, because We're all kind of addicted to our product, just a little bit here, right? But I think if you're authentic in yourself and people can see that you genuinely love what you do, you genuinely believe in the product that you're selling, that you use it yourself. People walk into my office and they're like, what's the scent today? And that's how I got my first ever sponsor, right? As she walked into my office and she's like, what is this? And I told her about it. And it's really just talking about it. But there's a certain things that I look for in people, like Jackie. She sits here on this call. She's incredibly motivated. Sometimes when you lose motivation, it is the people that you sponsor that come back and pour back into you and keep you consistently motivated. And Jackie is that for me. She and I like Whitney was saying, sometimes you're new and you don't know what you're doing. And she signed up with me about a month after I joined in, asked me if I had a 70-day plan for her. I did not. We were texting each other like, is there a launch? What time is the launch? What is happening? Like we were learning together and we kind of grew together. So I have no doubt that someone is, hang on a second, okay? Thank you. All right, work phone. Someone as motivated, I'll respond later. Sorry.
Someone got COVID in there.
Okay, someone got COVID at school. Thanks. My kid has my work phone and he's like, somebody tested positive. I got it. Okay, thank you. He's like super nervous. He goes to my school too. So if someone tests positive, he's like, someone got COVID. But yeah, so we grew together, we learned together. And sometimes that's super important. I'm super new. I only joined in August, right? I'm super excited for my first summer season because I have all the scents and and so I think just looking for somebody that's incredibly motivated, somebody that wants better for themselves. When Anya and I had our director's call with me, I told her like, I'm building a house and I want Scentsy to pay for my house. Right. And so people who have their why, people who have their reason, it's super important to find people like that. Kim, the first person that I ever sponsored, she was super miserable at work and she was looking for a way out. And she consistently, month after month, is active and is selling and is doing what she needs to be doing. Jackie, we were just having a conversation the other day and you look at her on the chat, she's just like a beast, right? We were having a conversation the other day and she was talking about how like maybe one day she could do this full time. Right. And those are the kind of people that we're looking for, people who are dedicated, people who are motivated, people who aren't afraid to start conversations, people who are very self-motivated. In a business where you're the leader, you have to have self-motivation. You can't just leave it off for another day or leave it off for somebody else. You have to look for someone that's willing to do it in the moment. And to me, I think the most important thing that I look for and the most important thing that I've learned in my journey to leadership is that you have to look for people and you have to be the kind of person that I'm not a superstar director, but you can bet your butt I'm working as hard as one. You have to be willing to work for the job you want without the pay, without the title, right? Before I even hit principal, I was a teacher. I was doing the job of an assistant principal. When I was an assistant principal, I was doing the job of a principal in residence. Now that I'm a principal in residence, I'm doing the job of the principal. And guess what? I just got promoted. And in July, I start as the principal of the school, right? And so you always have to be willing and looking for the kind of people that are motivated to do the job before they have the job. They have to be willing to go the extra mile before they even get to the extra mile. And that's one, even when we hire for teachers, and that's why it's super like, this is so easy for me to talk about, is because this is what we look for every day. When you're a charter school, you're a school of choice. People are not zoned to you. You have to call, you have to recruit, you have to go house to house, knock on doors. You have to take away any fear, any shame that you have. And you have to really say, this is my school, this is my product, this is what we offer, this is what we believe in. We believe in our mission, our vision, we believe in our product, we believe in what we have to offer. And this is why you need to believe in it too. And then you just have to find your people, because your people will believe in it just as much as you believe in it. And not everybody that I've sponsored has stayed active, but I'll tell you, majority of mine have, right? Because majority of mine have become active, who stay committed, because also of relationship building. we have our little group, and I know I told Anya that we have our little group where we just kind of go back and forth and ask each other questions. We're all new, we're all learning together, we're all growing together, but it's so important. In motivation, willpower, just being courageous. You're looking for somebody who's courageous, somebody who's willing to, you know what? I'm an introvert. But if you ask any of the kids at school, they'll be like, Miss Chugani dances on tables, or she like sings songs to us at lunch, because you have to be willing. We play music at lunch because when you have a product that somebody buys is the same as like a school of choice. They don't have to, they have to want to. And you have to make them want to be a part of your team. You have to make them want your product, just as we have to make our school a place they want to go to, because they don't have to. Right. And so, yeah. And like when you said they can change once they're in, you have to consistently keep them engaged, consistently keep them motivated. Sometimes that initial bite is enough for some people, but sometimes that initial bite is not enough. You have to keep people like wanting and motivated, and really just keeping your group together. Because I have to, and I mean, my heart is racing as I'm talking because I'm a huge introvert, but sometimes we have to do what we have to do. Just, I don't know. Scentsy has been such an interesting thing for me, you know, just because one of the things that we need to remember to do is to come to meetings like this, because whenever you, and remind the people that work under you, that come under you, just that you sponsor under you, they need to come to meetings like this, because in the moments that I've lost some motivation, or when I'm super busy, or it's semester exam time, or I'm feeling sick and I'm just like, you know, nobody has purchased lately, coming to meetings like this and listening to successful people, it reignites like that fire underneath you, and it keeps you motivated. I was an example of this. I was a vegan for a little while, and every time I'd find myself like going away from it, I'd watch the movies, I'd read the books, and I'd find myself motivated again to do it again. Whenever I feel like I'm failing at leadership at school, I read books again and I find new strategies again. It's all about just continuing your education, finding people that want to continue to be educated, finding motivated people who are, you know, willing to go the extra mile before they even get there, that I think is super important. And I feel like I'm rambling now, which is my English teacher background there. I could talk for 6 hours if you let me. But really, that's all that I have to say, is to just really find your people who are just same values as you and same motivation as you, and just be the best leader that you can with them, and do it, like work with them. My favorite leadership thing is I don't lead from the top, I lead from within. Right? Is that I'm there with them, I do the hard work with them, I help them, I send them what I have, I send products, you know, whatever it is that you can do to lead from within as opposed to from above is my favorite. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Jackie says, find your tribe. She is one of my tribe. I have known her since 2009. We have taught together. We have had babies together. We've lived in the same neighborhood, and she's my tribe, and she's one of my people. So that's all I have.
Yes, I love it. Definitely wanting to find, those are going to be your rock stars, you guys, like finding those people who just believe what you believe and are on track with what you want to do are your rock stars. We're offering it to all of our hosts. You know, you're offering the people that you see want to change. Not all of them are going to be your rock stars. They're just not, right? So we want to find those rock stars. We got to remember there's a place for everybody on our team. Okay, always, because there will be some that are like, I just want a discount, and that's fine. But like she said, you pour into those who just really want it and want big things and change. That, love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Miss Narina. Love it. Always be offering that opportunity to everybody. All right. I am going to wrap it up with why the big benefits of sponsoring, okay, and how Scentsy is a tiered system, okay? If you have people in your life, or even if you are not confident in the fact you hear people saying Scentsy is a pyramid scheme, one, those are illegal in the United States. Two, I have a whole entire training of that on my YouTube. So feel free to check that out, okay, if you're needing just some reassurance, some aim in your back pocket as to why that's not what we are at all, okay? But you will see that we are a tiered system as we go along, okay? So first thing, y'all, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Sponsoring is growth. Growth takes time. Okay, my 5-year-old all the time is like, I just want to be as big as Isaiah. Well, bud, you're not going to be as big as a 12-year-old. Growth takes time, right? One day you might catch up to being as big as him, but for today, you're not as big as him, and that's okay. What do we do to get there? Okay, it's the same thing in your team, in your growth, in your business. It is not a marathon, or it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Okay, faster is not always better. So I really just want you guys to understand that. For me, when I promoted to director, I was star one month, superstar consultant the next month, director the next month. And my mind was not caught up to what was going on. It was not fun to figure out what to do. Okay. It was fun to promote and to do all the things, but it was just such fast, rapid growth. Okay. That my mind couldn't catch up. My systems weren't in place. So just keep that in mind. Faster is not always better. Stay in your own lane, focus on your journey. Okay. Now, you guys, belief in yourself. You've got to believe that you can do this, because you can. Whitney's not special. I mean, she's special, but like, she didn't drink any special juice and like, oh, I'm a superstar director. Same, like, I'm just here. I'm just me trying to survive, y'all. Okay. There's no like special thing about us. We just chose to do the work. Okay. Open our mouths, get uncomfortable, right? Listen, show up to trainings. That is what it takes. Do the work, your action, your words, your actions, right? Ashley talked about that. So I want you guys to remember, you have to believe in yourself. Big things are possible. This can change your life. And if it hasn't yet, that's totally cool. But find people whose lives have been changed. Okay. So you've got your way upline SSD, Chloe Cox, retired from nursing. You have people who branch off of that. Katie Lassiter retired from nursing. Ray retired from nursing. Amber retired from teaching. Like Chastity retired from teaching. All these people were able to quit their 9-to-5s because of this. This can change your life if you do the work. Okay. And like Paige said, it can also change someone else's. So keep that in mind. You will get ignored. You will hear no. It's the name of the game. Same with parties. That's just the way it goes. Okay. Just keep going. So why are we sponsoring? With all of that, we're like, oh my goodness. Okay. Well, why am I doing this? To help others. Okay. And like Ashley said at first, it's kind of hard, right? To like think, okay, I'm doing this because I'm going to help others. I'm going to be a leader to help others. No, in your mind, you're like, I want to be a leader because I want to promote. I want to make more money. Okay. But and you've got to remember, you're going to have to put your team first. It's like being a parent. Okay. It's like being a parent. Remember that you have a blessing to give. If someone has an extra $50 a month to put food on their table, that's a blessing. Okay. How many people can really be like, oh, I've got an extra $200 to put in savings? That's a blessing. And you don't know what can happen with that blessing. They have to take it and do the work, right? But it's a blessing to offer. So don't be selfish by holding that in. Okay. You have a blessing to offer. Know that and be confident in that. Okay. What do I have? If you want to build wealth, why are we sponsoring? If you want to build wealth, okay. If you want to up that check, sponsoring, that's going to get you there. You can only get so much PRV. All right. I was watching something earlier and it was basically saying like the money is where the TWV is. Okay. As you keep going up. So for in your teamies, they're TWVs. And I'm going to show you guys something in a second. We're going to go back to the comp plan so I can dig in just a little bit, not too much, to kind of help you to understand that. Okay. So Sensi has sponsoring, I like to call them kind of sponsoring bonuses. Okay. This comes with your check. So when you are paid at title, and you guys, when you become a leader, we will dig into more of you being paid at title. You've got to hit all your numbers in the column. Okay. Remember, we talked about that a little bit too. So you're hitting all your numbers in your column and then you get paid at title. That means you're getting your leadership bonuses. Sensi is saying, good job, Anya, for running Leap to Lead, right? For pouring into people, for showing up. And here's your bonuses, okay? From the people that you've sponsored, which is awesome and amazing, okay? But again, for me, I'm gonna be really honest. For me, I always feel like I need to be worthy of those bonuses. So I am gonna put in the work for my team, okay? Like I feel like I need to be, I just do. I feel like I need to be worthy of the bonuses to make sure that I'm showing it for my team because it matters. It matters to show up and to be a good leader. It really, really does. Okay. So our system is built with those bonuses. Our system with payment is built on you continually sponsoring, not just sponsoring once and being like, okay, that's it, I'm done. If you want to get to the top, if you want to keep going, right? That's where our system is built. It's built on you continuously sponsoring, continuously helping people to get to the next level that they want to get at. Okay. So let me show you guys this. I should have done this earlier. Figure out how to share my screen every single time. Here we go. Okay. We're going to share my screen right here of the compensation plan. Can y'all see that? Someone give me a thumbs up. Yes. Okay. All right. So we got our compensation plan here. Okay. So you guys are going for lead consultant. You're hitting your 500 PRV. You're hitting your 1000 as your group. Okay. GWV. All right. I said TWV, but until you have a director, just GWV. And then you make sure that you've got your one active consultant. Okay. Your one active teamie. Of course, you would like to have more than one active because you don't want to have to you're hitting all these numbers and then your one teamie is not active, right? You want to make sure that you can hit those numbers even if your one teamie ends up really sick with COVID. Okay, ends up at home or something happens, right? You want to make sure that you are able to do that. So looking at this, you can see, right, you get a bonus from your personal wholesale, but you also get this TWV bonus right here. Okay, here's your TWV bonus. That is so important. That's saying, oh my gosh, good job, Marissa, because you're at the top of my head. Good job. Way to help your person become active, to do what they need to do. Now that you're a lead consultant, you go ahead and you get this leadership bonus. Okay, it's extra money towards your check. Now you see, if your teamie becomes a lead and you're a lead, there's no bonus. So you want to try to stay, I like to say, you want to try to stay one step ahead. Okay, you got to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to maximize the check for yourself. All right. So if I'm a lead consultant and I now have a teamie who just promoted and I only have one consultant, I need to go find another teamie. Okay. So that I can move up and hit the numbers in star consultant. Okay. And then look, if I have a teamie that's certified, my bonus just jumped up from when I was a lead. So no longer am I getting 2% extra from Scentsy to say, good job, Anya, for hitting all of your numbers, way to lead your people, do what you're supposed to do. I'm now getting 4% from my certified or essential consultants, TWV. That's huge, you guys. That's huge. That's a huge part of your check, okay? So the more teamies you have, say you've got now 3 certified consultants, you're not getting 4% of each of those TWVs. Okay, bonuses from Scentsy to say, good job for showing up, good job answering their questions. All right, so that is why you want to keep sponsoring. It's just going to help you do what you want to do and maximize your check. And then in turn, you're helping them get to where they want to be. Okay, so that is super important to notice. Also noticing that if you're not paid at title, okay, those bonuses aren't going to look the same. All right, your bonuses look the same for where you're at. So if you're not paid at title as a lead consultant, you guys, you're not getting the bonuses the way you would get them if you were paid at title. So being paid at title is crucial. It's crucial, crucial, crucial. All right. So I want you guys to try to understand that as much as you can. I know it's kind of confusing. I'm going to stop screen sharing. But try to understand that, because that is going to be huge when it comes to why are we sponsoring? Why do we keep sponsoring, right? Because we just want to keep growing and growing and growing, all right? It's going to just increase your check, okay? What do I have next? Oh, this is important to know, just so you can explain this to people when you are sponsoring them or when you've already sponsored them. You can never get more of a bonus from your teamie than they can get from commission. That's extremely important. And you are not getting money from them. Okay. It's not like Scentsy's like, oh, well, Anya, good job sponsoring Ashley. Okay, today we're going to take X amount from Ashley's check. That is not how that works. Scentsy's literally giving you a bonus. Okay. If you have a teamie, I already said this, if you have a teamie who promotes the same title as you, I had to have this conversation with someone today. I was like, you know, your girl is in Leap to Lead and she is rocking it out. You're a lead consultant. If your girl promotes to lead, there's no bonus, leadership bonus for you, because you're both lead. Okay. When you hit director, it's different. But until then, if you're both sitting right here, there's no bonus. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, well, it's time to keep up your leadership, girl. Like if that's what you're wanting to do, it's time to kick it up, kick it into high gear. And it's meant so you continuously do push yourself. So you continuously do grow. Being stagnant isn't going to get us anywhere, right? All right. So I want you guys to think about this too. Another reason, why do we sponsor? You get paid on someone's PRB commission, right? Off of the PRB you get from their party once, or their order once, okay? We'll use my mom as an example. My mom did a party for me and she had a rockin' freaking party. It was like almost $1,000. It was insane, okay? And I was like, whoa, this rocks, this is amazing. But I kept trying to get her to join Scentsy. And she's like, no, no, no. And I was like, Mom, you're spending money with me every single month. Like you should just join and get paid back on your own purchases, okay? So if my mom is only spending X amount, I can only get what? If I don't hit 2K PRV, I can only get 25% commission off of that order, right? But now my mom's a superstar consultant. It's going to look a little bit different because month after month, as she's getting paid at title, those bonuses from Scentsy are way more than me getting commission off of her order once every other month or once a month, okay? So when you're like, oh, I really don't want to talk to my best customer, I really don't want to flip this party. Yes, you do. It hurts a little bit. It hurts just a little bit when you do those things, but it's worth it as long as, especially if that person's, I mean, even if they work for 2 months, it's worth it, you guys, okay? So just think about things like that. You only get paid on the commission, the PRV, one time, okay? Maybe twice, maybe 3 times, maybe they fall off the wagon and they don't use Scentsy anymore. I don't know. But when they join, it's a completely different ballgame, okay? So if that person was a sponsor, right, that TWV just goes up, okay? Like, that's amazing. So as that TWV is going up, those are the bonuses. That's what number they take the percentage from for the bonus. So that means that I'm just going to go ahead and get more of a check from Scentsy because now this person that I sponsored is now sponsoring. So not only do you want to sponsor, you want to teach your team to sponsor, okay? That is going to be huge, big businesses, okay? Teach your team to do what you're doing. Teach your team what you're learning and then implement it because that's not only money for your team and your teammate, right? But then you also get your bonus too. That's how you help people get to where you are and above, okay? So crucial, that is literally why we sponsor, okay? It is tiered, but it has to be. And I was looking at it earlier because pyramid scheme really drives me nuts. But I was looking at it earlier and I was like, it has to be tiered. Why would it not? If I've got a superstar consultant, of course they deserve those percentages for tiers if they're pouring back into their team and those people, right? If they're not, then no, they don't deserve it, but they're probably not gonna be paid a title, so you don't have to worry about it anyways, okay? But if they've worked to get to that level and they're pouring back in, yes, they absolutely should be getting something, anything, right, as a bonus from Scentsy to say, good job. It's the same thing when you're a leader in a business. If you're leading a team, you get a bonus, right? When that team does something good, the team lead is getting a bonus. It's the same thing, okay? So that is what we have. Yes, Ashley, and we all go back to 0 every month. It's not like we get to keep our commission. That'd be really nice though, wouldn't it? If you could just got to keep your commission month after month, it just rolled on and on. No, we all start at 0, okay? Yes. And Whitney says, and as a leader, you have your minimums to meet. And that's the thing I like about Scentsy is that your leaders have to work too, right? If they're not working, they're not getting paid at title. So I say, if they're not pouring back into their team, if they're not getting that PRV they're supposed to have, they're not getting any bonuses for anything because they're not doing the work. You've got to do the work in order to get the bonuses. All right, I'm going to stop recording